Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing great. So it's been years and years and years since I've done a Rise of Kingdoms video. Um, Back when it was actually called Rise of Civilizations, funny enough. Anyways, in case the mic and you hear me clicking and everything, I didn't fully just get everything set up. I was not ready to have moved office, everything like that. I'm not trying to make massive excuses. I'm just basically trying to talk about the massive drama that has happened this KVK. It's been a great, fun KVK, amazing fights. If you guys are curious, we are playing the Shifting Gears KVK, so it's a lot of like new range stuff. I personally really like it because it allows the smaller players to kind of get involved in the KVK. It does allow for a lot of spamming, but it also allows for different kind of push and shove in terms of how fighting is, rather than just okay, ball up, push, ball up, push. Now it's like ball up, set the artilleries forward, push, let the artilleries do, the support and all that type of stuff. It's really, really nice. I feel like if siege marches had that type of feel, it would be a little bit better. But anyways, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. We're getting into the insane drama. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys this little map. In terms of kingdom list, in terms of like every kingdom in here, you guys can see, I just had it up really quick, which kingdoms are which. This is fire camp, so this is, I'm 2836, and this is, all the camps inside of our fire camp. This is water camp, who we were allied with. These are all the camps inside of them. This is earth camp, which we were actually at war with, and they were our enemies. And then also wind camp, who they were also our enemies, but now things have changed. So you're wondering why things have changed. Well, as you guys can see, we are going to be capturing the ziggurat, and the star is going to be going to us. Now, things can change. They could still possibly, betray us if they wanted to. It could be really, really interesting. However, water camp were our allies, all KVK. And now how the initial drama really started was basically with how our pass 4 happened. So we were fighting Earth in pass 4, and our pass 4, sorry, I clicked. Our pass 4 here was insane. It was honestly insane. The fighting lasted 6 to 7 days almost. It was like a really long pass 4, and it was great. It was great to actually have a pass 4 that lasted that long. Anyways, fort drops were here and everything. Every time we tried to push during our downtime to try and continue to burn their forts, they had their uptime, so they were able to put up siege artillery. And with how artillery is in this game in terms of the revamp, I know you guys don't know, but like, it's basically siege troops, and they have good range and they do a lot of damage. It does depend obviously who you use and everything. And then they have skirmishers, and it was during our downtime, it was basically like, I wish I could have screenshotted it or recorded it. It was really, really hard. We were literally, how I have even reports from when we were, sorry, this is obviously reports of different things. We have reports of when we, like, Hera Charles, we were trying. I mean, they didn't have a great garrison there, but like, we were trying to take this down, and you could see the time. It was 22:44 UTC. That was like our downtime. Like, that was when we started to really, really deteriorate. And this was like even another one during their downtime. We actually were able to burn it. And as you can see where it was located, they had like 2 forts here. It was just insane. Anyways, pass 4 lasted 6 to 7 days. Now, there was already people from water camp in the, Lost Kingdom chat going, why are you guys stat padding? Why aren't you guys killing them off and everything? Because what ended up happening was they eventually did capture this first, because we didn't fort drop all the way over here and like block them off over here. But I wasn't leading the camp. I wasn't leading the war plan. This was, their idea that they, we didn't need a fort. We could just take them out and burn them out. And they were like, why did you build like this as well? Well, if you really look at it, the amount of crystals we were kind of getting along the way was pretty good. And again, it's like we would push during our daytime, but then it was also crystal consumption while building. And they had this whole area covered. This whole area was covered with flags and everything. So it was just like, I kind of wish I took some screenshots beforehand showing everything, but just take my word for it. Anyways, now we're getting into the juicy bits. So obviously we have a really, really, really strong pass four fight. Water wins pass four fight versus wind pretty quickly. I think it was like maybe 3 days max. They had loads of fights and everything. And you can even see kind of from the autark points. Obviously, wind and earth and water are a bit there. We have a lot of people that are there now. There was obviously a lot more fighting in Kingsland than there should have been. um, because yeah, I'll tell you that in a second. But anyways, when you look at the autark points, which again, I'm gonna go back to it really quick. It shows all the points. So it shows basically kill points, death points, heal points. I think I did the calculation of it, and like between us and Earth, like out of the 101 people that go on this list, I think we had half of it. It was like wild. Like that's how much fire and earth were fighting. Our person that was leading our camp was also doing stats and everything, and they showed us the stats, and I'm just going to more or less show you guys really, really quick what the stats actually ended up being. So obviously you can see this, but I just figured I'd show you guys this way because this is how it's going to be. So this was our stats for oh, sorry, I'm just making sure you guys can see it. This was our stats compared from fire to water camp for pass four. So as you guys can see, the deads were 64 million for water, and then the fire camp our fire camp had 133 million deads. The T5 kills were 580 mil to our 788 mil, and then the T4 kills was 181 mil to 410 mil. And then obviously the T4 and T5 KP gained was 16 billion compared to their 9.4 billion. Everybody does stats differently and everything. We still haven't been able to finalize the stats and everything. I think there's going to be a finalization of the stats, but there's no point to really finalize the stats right now to show the stats because I haven't gotten them. But at the same time, there's not really to it, if that makes sense. Like you'll see why. So, anyways, coming back to it, and let me just make sure that obviously you guys can still see this. So yeah, anyways, it was great. It was great pass four fighting. It was awesome. Water camp was very, very silent, obviously, with how we were doing it. Runes fights in terms of altar were great. Like altar of darkness versus earth, I gotta give props to them. It was endless fighting. I think I do give it to fire camp one time where more or less we did fight them during their uptime, and we did win in terms of the altar of darkness. And then it was kind of funny because they were constantly pushing for 2 hours. They just wouldn't stop pushing here, and they pushed us all the way into a corner over here, and it literally lasted like the last 5 minutes. They captured the altar of darkness, so they did get, what was it, 75 otter or whatever it is for like that 2 minute. But it was just like wild fighting, like it was ridiculous. Anyways, the fights here were great. Water was also fighting wind over here, and then this was obviously our free rune. But yeah, past 7 comes. Now with pass 7 was really, really interesting. We had 2 forts here. They had 3 forts here. 39 actually eventually ended up building another fort, but we were consistently burning at pass 7. The only time they were able to heal was during their downtime, but immediately we would burn. They'd maybe get about 4 or 5 hours of possibly healing, and then immediately we take them out. I wish I had some reports saved from past seven, but there was even one counter rally report with Attila Takeda that was able to get 1 million dead off of them swarming it, and obviously all the siege towers hitting it. It was ridiculous. There was like loads of siege towers here. It was a bombardment. It was insane. It was great. But Earth never took our past seven. In terms of wind and water, they were going back and forth. Water was burning their passes or their forts and everything here, but wind had built like a whole line of forts, about 6, 7 forts, whereas Earth kind of didn't. They built about 4 forts, I think, and then that was it. But we were just constantly burning them, so it just didn't matter. Um, However, we have a very, very juicy screenshot, and I'm going to edit this video so that I can obviously kind of get all the screenshots up, and then we're going to kind of show each one because it gets really, really wild. So, yes, BRB. Okay, so we are back, and if needed, I will like zoom in a little bit. I guess I could like zoom in a bit here. I'll do like 125. That's perfect. Anyways, now so we're seeing that, past seven, they're obviously fighting loads and everything like that. Now, to give a little bit of why I'm seeing these screenshots, these are screenshots of water and wind, basically making a deal. This was water making a deal with wind. How this ended up coming up and why I was like trying to figure things out was because Kingsland happened, and I'm sorry, I should have more or less popped it in here, but Kingsland happened. We built all the way across. We blocked their pass 8 here. They could not get in through this pass 8, so the only way they could get in was through this pass, and we actually ended up blocking them here so that they could not get into the pass, and we actually built all our flags here, and by the time they built 2 flags, we were already here. We destroyed them. We had their pass 8. They couldn't get into Kingsland. It was over. Wind and water, on the other hand, water had them fully blocked out here. I really wish I took a screenshot because the bullshit that they were saying in their, in the fire water camp chat was ridiculous. Wind, not wind, I'm talking about water. Water was here and they blocked them entirely. Wind was obviously building flags and everything, but look at how close it is right here to just build flags and then burn them. They built flags to like right here and then stopped. They started building up north and let wind build loads of flags here and even here. And we're like, water, what are you doing? Like, why you have the people, why are you not burning this and that? They said, oh, wind is still fighting really, really hard. It's our downtime. We can't burn them. Man, the utter stupid, like, it was just bull. It was just like the craziest bull I've ever seen, because you can easily burn this within the first hour. If we can lock Earth out in the first hour, they had the numbers to block them out in the first hour. Anyways, they decided not to, and they left wind inside of Kingsland. Obviously, wind even went into their downtime, and like there was nobody there. There was maybe a few people here. Water definitely had people to just come build, burn. And they said, oh, no, it's our downtime. We're going to burn them out tomorrow. And that's when Fire started questioning things, started messaging Earth, and like, hey, do you know what's actually going on in terms of wind and water? Because wind should be out of Kingsland. And then, additionally, this was the craziest bit. We go, hey, water, we want to take our stats because we've secured all the area in Kingsland except for the area that you let wind have. That wind is just keeping. And then, all objectives are done. So let's stop taking stats. They then proceeded to say, and I really wish I did not leave the chat. I should have just stayed in the chat and scrolled up. So stupid. Anyways, they then proceeded to say, wind is still fighting. Like, they're still fighting So we're not going to be taking stats. We're going to be building a fort into Wind's area, and we're going to continue to fight them and blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, huh? I've never heard someone say, or another kingdom say, we're still going to be taking stats when the objective is basically over. The objective is to win Kingsland here, secure the Ziggurat, and obviously close everybody here. If Wind is barely fighting, I'm really putting like they're barely fighting because they had like no one in Kingsland at all during their downtime and their uptime. Mind you, past 7 area, they have been both fighting endlessly, and even during the water downtime, Wind was still pushing, took past 7, and then was trying to push further in, and they couldn't do it. So you're telling me for Kingsland, there was not enough people to show up that, Wind couldn't push back or water couldn't push back. It's Kingsland. You know what I mean? You're supposed to fight, 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 fight. Anyways, now we're going to get into the really, really interesting bit. And I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video. We're getting into the screenshots. So I had a good buddy from Earth send me these screenshots over here that goes to show that this is between water and wind. Now, Zapbot is one of the leaders from one of the water camps. His name is like Seal something ridiculous. He goes, it's hard to motivate us, basically. I didn't get the full screenshots and everything like that. But more or less, they sent me the screenshot of this. It says, you got my words. Is this fully zoomed in? It is. Hopefully you guys can actually see this. I just want to make sure. Yeah, you guys should be able to read this pretty clear. He says, you got my words. That's the point. We won't cut your way in Kingsland. Earth is already lost. We can count them out. And then So says something I don't understand. And then Zapbot goes, I know. Appreciate it, bro. Only last few steps. Enter Kingsland. Do open field. No one can harm you. And then So goes, the ground has already collapsed to the point where it's difficult to enter Kingsland. We are the same. First of all, I'll try to challenge, Kingsland today, and let's give it a try and let's see. Okay. And then Zapbot goes, okay, great. Don't affect by the Earth camp. They gave up, so their rewards is none. Right? Interesting stuff. Then obviously this is, well, not even to it. Sorry, I kind of like messed up a little bit here. I don't know exactly what days this screenshot was from. However, this one shows the days that this was from. This was the 4th of September. The 4th. I think this was actually the first screenshot. I actually showed you guys the second one by mistake. This is the first screenshot. Water decided to make an offer to Wind for them to basically help them stat pad as much as humanly possible so that they can get the star, more or less. All this for a star, guys. So he said this. He said, okay, I got it, blah, blah. He said, my offer has changed now. I need you to be active and exchange kills with us at Pass 7 and Kingsland. You still get 1 coin and some final rewards. You can do anything with our forts. We don't mind. We need you to fight and don't give up. And then he says, blah, blah, okay, deal. Please ask your member again. And he said, okay, deal. I'll keep fighting. And maybe this is where the second screenshot comes in. That is like, it's hard to motivate us and all this stuff. This is probably a little bit after. Anyways, this screenshot shows enough that Water was trying to get Wind to fight endlessly, all for some coins and final rewards. And this was all to just stat pad. Now, obviously, this is Earth sending us this message, screenshotting these, and then it doesn't stop there. Water then decides, as we're messaging Earth and trying to figure out what's going on, like why are they doing that, and Earth is like, hey, Water's betraying you. Like, you guys need to betray them. We will join you. Just, you guys need to betray them. They're actually betraying you. Like, they're trying to do some stuff behind your back. And by the way, really, really quickly to state, our Kingsland opened on the 11th of September. This message comes from the 4th. It was like, it's just plain blatant obvious. Like, they just made a deal. Anyways, So these are some screenshots that they had when they made a group. So they made a little group here. Luckily, the person that gave me the screenshots had 3% and was able to just take some of these screenshots and everything. Was charging their phone. So yeah, more or less. So this is Look. So he's one of the kings from I think 1013. And then there's people from Oh, I mean he literally says that. And then there's other kings. And this is Zapbot again. So you guys are seeing Zapbot. You're seeing the So guy. So he says, yes, I'm king of 2824. And this guy, Semprul, is from Earth Camp. And so, yeah, he says, oh, do we have Diplo from each camp, etc. Okay, cool. And Look goes, Makik, who's from Earth again, also said that, that Zemprul can kind of represent him in this chat that they had and everything. And then basically, so he says, okay, please wait. He'll add another camp leader. I'm the king of 2885, mainly Diplo for wind. So I'm assuming he's obviously adding like the camp leader there. So then this is Triss, right? So then Sempro's like, can I bring my friends from Earth, other kingdoms in Camp Earth? So luckily we get a few little people added in here and everything, and this is great because they're adding more and more people into here, kind of showing what they're kind of doing and stuff, right? It gets wild. So Triss goes blah blah, and Leo are the kings of 2733. I am Tian, leader water camp. I am king of 2733. Hello everyone. This guy has been in Kingsland or Lost Kingdom chat saying, oh, you guys are betrayers and all this other bullcrap and everything. It's just wild, right? So then they're just talking. We can use simple words and easy sentence for easy talking. What ends up happening is Mr. Body goes, fire here, and obviously it's not us. We're not in this chat at all. Earth, wind, and water, right? He said, I don't think so. So Zapbot goes, so I'll be very short. And this is 5:41. It doesn't really state the day that this was actually taken at all, sadly. I wish it this was either the day after King's Landing or something, but we just knew it was like something was happening in the background, and our leaders were messaging their leaders trying to figure out what's going on. Anyways, Zapbot goes, so I'll be very short. I know fire have reached Earth and betray water. What? We were actually like wondering what the fuck water was doing with wind, because we were like, why have you not burned them out? We've burned out Earth. What are you doing? And what ended up happening was we ended up actually just going, okay, Earth, we will have a stalemate. We'll have a peace, because we've burned you out of Kingsland. We won't burn your forts, as we're trying to figure out what the hell water and wind are doing, right? So him saying, I know fire have reached Earth and betray water. If you please have screenshots to say, hey, Fire Camp reached out to Earth and immediately said, hey, we need you to betray water because water's going to try and steal the star from us. Please, I'd love someone to say, hey, this is exactly what happened and this is why we betrayed. When in previous screenshots, you can see that there's literally Zapbot in here talking to Wind saying, hey, we'd give you rewards if you just constantly stat pad us with constant kills. Please try your best to motivate your fighters to fight us endlessly, get bad reports, and all these resources, all for 1 coin and some final rewards. Really, dude? Anyways, we're gonna get a bit further there. So basically he said, so we want to share the final rewards with Wind and Earth Camp. I know even better our data than fire. They still not let it go. You guys all saw the stats in the beginning that I showed in terms of the past 4 fighting. I've talked to a few other people. They said you'd need to fight endlessly to try and catch up. And also not make a deal with the enemy camp to say, hey, please fight us endlessly so we can catch up. Regardless, so he goes, so my proposal is water will compensate everything only for the Zig. Wind and earth will share the other rewards. 6 circles for Herons, and water will do it all. Uh, do it all to make it happen. I can see Earth still wants a fight, and Wind needs some rewards to heal after this KVK. So Semperl goes and top one honor because they were really close to honor and then on the leaderboard. He said, "Sure, you will. I can see your camp is active," which is probably bullshit because water is the leading honor camps. They would really need to like halt everybody, not doing altar of darkness and all that type of stuff, which I doubt they would do. So yeah. So look goes all targets possible to get each camp 30 and 30. And then Zapbot goes, it is 90 for the others, so 45, 45. And then I think apparently not look, he said that there's an update that it's actually 45, 45. So Semprul was trying to get them to obviously, Semprul, who's representing Earth, is like trying to think, what are you guys thinking about doing? And then Look said, I think it is a good offer. My only rule is Earth and Wind is one team. It is enough for me. So obviously both sides needed to agree. So Wind and Earth needed to agree to do a 3v1 versus us. And Zapbot goes, if you all agree, I will share the detailed plan. And then obviously they're like, wait a minute, we need to talk to other people and see what's going on. And then other people came in here and they, more or less saw that the rewards were fair and all that stuff. Anyways, let's just say that plan ultimately backfired immediately versus versus water, because we messaged Wind and Earth and then just said, hey, we'll give you all the rewards. We can now see that that water has been trying to betray us since the beginning just for the star. So we will just ask if we can get the star. If we can get, we'll just get the star and you guys can get all the other rewards, etc. And what ended up happening? Earth and Wind immediately agreed. Immediately. It was like, it was the scenario that had happened was I was seeing these screenshots and I was messaging in the camp chat and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? These guys thought we were stupid and we knew that they were doing some type of back deal, etc. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And Earth was like, yo, we will side with you. I think they even messaged us after, I had one person message us that was a leader. And after the past 4 fighting had ended, and obviously some water people were not happy in the Lost Kingdom chat, and one of the Earth leaders messaged me, and he said, "Hey, if you have any problems with water, let us know, and we could sort something out." And it's just like it was like everybody knew that water were gonna betray or do something, and they were gonna do something. And they did it. They made a deal. They were trying to stat pad, and they were like, I've absolutely never seen in my eyes within the first hour of Kingsland allowing an enemy to you stop building here and start building up. And literally, if I could show you the picture if I could have taken a picture of how it was, and I really, really should have, because I would have thought I would have made a video. It was wild because water built like this and then built up and literally was building up as a linear line, like a wall, basically all here. We stopped like right here, and because we ran out of crystals with our main alliance, which would have been the perfect time for them to attack, but they obviously didn't know that we had no crystals, because then we would have been fucked. Anyways, they built a wall like right here, and Wind built a wall right here. So it was like literally a wall only for water and Wind to fight. And it's like, we're not gonna fight. I'm be real with you guys. I'm not gonna walk 20 fucking minutes to get cheeseburgered or to get hit, especially by the skirmishing. I'm not gonna walk 20 minutes just to fucking fight Wind. And knowing you guys are still saying they're fighting so hard, so we're not taking stats. So they know for a fact we're not going to make the effort to walk all the way down here or all the way over here just to fight. They knew it. They were not dumb. They were like, oh, we'll make a little great wall right there so you guys actually don't come through, and we will just constantly fight them and keep them in Kingsland. So when we obviously started calling them out, they started building really quickly, burning flags, built a fort like all the way over here, which like, huh? That was one thing that made like zero sense. They made it. They built a fort all the way over here instead of like somewhere like, possibly here or there to fort drop to take two circles. Like what? That was like the dumbest area to fort drop. Obviously, that fort drop failed. Once we saw that the fort drop failed, we were like, these guys are just totally fucking just stat padding. Like they do not care. Anyways, Wind and Earth decided to take our deal immediately, and within the first 2 hours of after seeing the screenshots and everything, we started to attack water. Like literally, they were like, "Burn that flag." That's all they said. Just fight, burn that flag. We were fighting on three fronts. Water was it was during their very active time, so they were fighting on three fronts, and they were doing really good. They were fighting over here, fighting over here, and fighting over here, but also fighting on these ends. Um, And in the 1v1 situation, to be honest, it was looking like, in terms of certain areas, as we were trying to burn multiple areas, they were sending a lot more players to certain areas to try and stop burnings. Which we were just like sending two or three players, or, 2, 3 players with their farms to try and like just consistently burn areas and hold flags. And we were just burning, 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 and our main objective here was to burn them out from this area and burn them out for this area, and we did, just constant push one flag, burn, push the other flag, burn, having timers and markers for when to that they should stop their healing, and then when we're gonna burn again. And it was great. I have some great reports, as you guys can see: 28,000 to 139, 21,000 to 120. 9,000 to 75,000, 52,000 to 307. Some of this was actually past past 7. So this is, these are some of the other things, but I definitely love this KVK. I was doing some crazy fighting. It was awesome. Now, at the end of the day, guys, this is more or less all the drama. I'm sorry it took 32 minutes to state. And maybe there might be more drama. I trust Earth won't betray us, and I trust Wind won't betray us because they're getting rewards. Um, and they've actually been able to fight water. Both camps have been able to fight water like endlessly. Once it was kind of funny. Once we burned out. Oh wait, what? What? Oh, we changed. Oh, they're out of. I was about to say. I was like, hold on, what's happening here? I forgot that they got kicked out of the coalition. But once water stopped, like once we kicked them out, water like only wanted to fight wind and earth. It was kind of sad. I really wanted to get more kills. As you guys can see, like I really, really did. I was trying to see if I could hit, my goal this KVK. Oh, sorry, wrong one. I was trying to hit my goal this KVK of, you know, getting like loads and loads of kill points. Got to give it to Fong and Wee, this KVK, and the rest of, basically all the camps that were fighting legit without, having water stat pad. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think water just knew it wasn't going to be good for them because of the fact of how long our past war went in fighting and how long they went in fighting. Like, there was no legit deal with Earth. Like, I gotta give it to Earth, and it was really annoying because it was something of like after 10 to 11 UTC, Earth would just kick us out, and like it was constant of the thing of like right here at past 7, Earth would kick us out, build loads of artillery, and then keep trying to take the past 7, and it was just like, oh, it was that for like 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours, and I'm like, there's no point in fighting. I'm not gonna be able to take out all these artilleries that are just sitting there. It was just ridiculous. And that's what they did in the previous Pass 4. And it was why Pass 4 lasted so long. And I forgot to say that there was one thing that he said when we immediately were wondering why Wind were lasting in Kingsland. And he was like, oh, we're fighting Wind in Kingsland for 6 hours and you guys are complaining, but we didn't complain about your Pass 4 fighting. And it's like, huh? There's a big difference in Kingsland, letting the enemy stay in Kingsland, and us fighting in Pass 4 area where it's a back and forth the whole time. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? It's just like Earth. did great fighting this KVK, and I gotta give it to our camp. We fought loads, and I give it to Wind Camp as well. They were like every time I was seeing in terms of enemy elimination, they were busting ass. Like obviously they were able to like cheeseburger a little bit and everything, and you could cheeseburger pretty good in this KVK. But it's like, yo, I'm like, yo, some of those reports must have been great for some win players because you cheeseburger. Damn it, I have like this little fly. You cheeseburgering loads against water, and like obviously water did not care, but I would hate to be taking negative trades constantly just so that we could try and get a star. Like, man, I always fight. I always want to fight like legit. You know what I mean? You fight legit. You go, hey, if you guys have better stats, then fine. The only other time I've had something happen before was where, we were defending versus 2268 for like a week in zone 7, and like we drained the crap out of 2268, and then we still ended up not getting the star because of stats. But then I'm not going to go into that one either. That's another little maybe big drama story for the future. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about the drama and everything. Yes, we indeed do the 3v1, and it's been great. I definitely wish we could have fought more in Kingsland. Kingsland was extremely sad. I think literally, in all technicality, Kingsland lasted about an hour to an hour and a half max. It was the fastest Kingsland I've ever dealt with. Earth didn't even get to get inside Kingsland. They put literally they got the pass, we defended the pass, we legit took the pass, defended it, held it one defense, and then they took the pass, built 2 flags, and we burned them immediately. And then it was just like, okay, fighting's over, gotta walk all the way down here just to fight some wind. It was just shit. It was just shit because it was just like, damn, like really would too. But at least when we were fighting with water, there was a lot of fighting, and then again, eventually, water just decided, okay, we're just gonna fight wind and earth over this way. So it was kind of funny because water then eventually just started pushing wind here, and fighting over here, and then they were like fighting earth a bit, and then that's it. Like they gave up over here, and then they were just constantly fighting here, which is yeah, but still, great stuff. Honestly, the wildest KVK I've ever had. And I gotta give it to the rest of Fire Camp and, our now new allies. And I will say for everybody in 2036, I'm gonna make a video about it, but great fucking job, man. We finally are getting a star after 2 years, more or less, in this kingdom. And missing so many opportunities of getting a star. If you guys don't know, we did fight 2268 last KVK, and we were in that big KVK style of stratagems and all the insane fighting and everything. So yeah, it was wild. Anyways, I will end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed all the massive drama. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a drama video because I haven't done a Rise of Kingdom video in a while, and this is worth the content. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. And hopefully we don't have to do endless betrayal videos because this is just so peace.